Hey y'all, today we are doing some meal prep. Okay, so today is more about inspiration and just kind of showing you what I prep and how I do it. Just, like I said, to inspire you a little bit. But I'm going to link all the recipes and videos down below for y'all. So the first thing that we're going to make is breakfast burritos. Now, I scrambled up some eggs. This is about 16 eggs, I think. And I undercooked them just a little bit. See, I don't know if you can tell, but they're still kind of wet. You don't want to overcook your eggs when you're making something that you're going to put in the freezer, because if you do, when you reheat them, they're going to be kind of rubbery. At least that's been my experience. So for my own personal self, I just undercook mine just a little bit. And I'm going to put bacon in mine, but you could do sausage if you prefer sausage. For my bacon, what I do is I put it on a sheet pan, put it in a cold oven, and then set the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I just set a timer for about 25 minutes and I just let it go. And it's usually pretty much done at the end of 25 minutes. Sometimes if I need it extra crispy, I'll let it go a few more minutes. But you can just kind of gauge, however done you like your bacon. But I had to cook up a lot because I was making a lot of stuff today. So I don't know how many I ended up putting in here. I usually just put a bunch in and then stir it up and see if I feel like I need some more, I add some more. And my eggs are still a little bit warm right now, but that's okay. That's why they're kind of clumping together, because they're still warm. And so I'm just kind of breaking them up as I stir them. But you definitely want to make sure that this is completely cooled before you start putting them into your tortillas, or it's going to make your tortillas soggy and it's just going to be harder to deal with them. So the next thing that I add to my breakfast burritos is not like a shredded hash brown, but like the hash brown potatoes. You know what I mean? You get them in the frozen section. Now, if you want to cut your own potatoes up and roast them and do whatever, feel free. I actually have done them a lot of times. I get the canned potatoes, the canned diced potatoes, and cook them in the air fryer. They turn out fabulous like that. But this time I just got the bag of frozen and I just cooked them in the oven until they were however done I wanted them. Then I added in a couple of little handfuls of this shredded cheese, because y'all already know you can't have too much cheese. So, and this is, like I said, this is 16 eggs, so this is a lot. So we need a lot of cheese. That's my justification. So go ahead. Once you get everything that you want in there, you could add onions, bell peppers. I had a lot of cooking to do, y'all. I did a lot of meal prep, so I tried to keep most everything I did kind of simple. So then I laid out these tortillas. Now, these are like the burrito size tortillas or the taco. I don't know, the smaller ones or maybe the medium size ones. I have some really big ones too. So what I did was I did like 8 of these small ones, and then I did the rest of them in the big ones, because I thought if you just kind of need a snack to tide you over, you can grab one of the little bitty ones. But if you needed like a full-on meal, then you could get one of the big ones. You know what I'm saying? And I share these with my son. If I gift these to people, I just kind of see what they like. I did a big meal prep. I don't know. It's been about a year ago, I guess. My niece had a baby, so it was my first great nephew, my first great anything. He made me a great aunt, and I meal prepped her a lot of this stuff. So like I said, any of this stuff that I have done in videos before, I'm going to link the videos down below for y'all so you can get the exact ingredients, or if you need a little bit more in-depth what I'm doing, you can find it all down there. So what I do is once I get everything in my burrito, I just fold it up. And that's it. I mean, you can see it's pretty self-explanatory and it's pretty simple. But like I said, I ended up with 8 little ones and 9 big ones. So I had 17 breakfast burritos from those 16 eggs that I had. Okay, that's how I ended up with that. Now, the next thing we're doing are breakfast sandwiches. Now, I like to do these in the oven. You can't tell with this either. It's a little bit undercooked. It's not completely cooked, especially the whites. You can kind of see maybe when I drag the knife through there. But this is the easiest way to make eggs if you're going to do breakfast sandwiches. So if I'm doing something like an English muffin or bagels or something, I'll usually get a cookie cutter or a biscuit cutter, and I'll cut them out round so they fit. And that's personal preference, y'all. You definitely don't have to. But since these were big croissants, I just cut them in squares and they were fine. So this is just that big pack of croissants that you get at Sam's. And let me tell you, this was one of my favorite things that I meal prepped. I think there might be 2 of these left. Don't judge me. I've been eating one every day. So I just thought, like I said, normally I do it on an English muffin or a bagel or something, but I was like, I love a good croissant. So let me put some on croissants and let's see how that goes. And winner, y'all. Definite winner. Definitely if you're going to make breakfast sandwiches, I highly recommend you do them on croissants because they're fabulous. And if you don't need these big full-size croissants, you can absolutely get the small ones and just cut everything smaller. And then you'll have little bitty sandwiches. Those will be good for like your grandbabies or if you have little ones. Or if you're not a pig and you don't eat as much as I do. So then we're going to use some more of that bacon that we cooked up. Put those on. Again, you can put whatever. If you want to do sausage on here. If you don't want to do eggs, I have somebody that doesn't eat egg. So the next time I make these, I'm just going to make some with bacon and cheese on them. And you can customize these however you want to. That's the good thing about stuff like this. And y'all, this is, I named the video Meal Prep for One because what I'm prepping is things that are easy for one person. Like this is going to last me forever. Well, maybe not the croissants because like I said, they're almost gone. But for the most part, the stuff I'm prepping is going to last a long time. But if you're meal prepping for 2 or 3 or 4, for 2, I would still do it like this. If you're prepping for a big family, then just make full size, like of the stuff you can make full size stuff of. So what I do when I'm meal prepping, this is just the easiest thing for me. And I know somebody's going to complain about the amount of plastic I'm using, but this is the way I did it and ain't no going back now. So I label the bags and then I take my plastic wrap and I wrap each and everything. That doesn't make any sense. I wrap everything individually. And that way it's super simple to go in there and grab it. Everything is organized. And if you wrap it, for me, I wrap it in plastic wrap, like I said, and then I put these in a Ziploc bag. I reuse my Ziploc bag, so maybe that'll, maybe that's some saving grace for me. I don't know. But that's just the easiest thing for me. Now this I almost didn't put in here because it's so easy. Now this is another big thing of these rolls that you get at Sam's. My granddaughter always wants a ham sandwich. The boys will eat peanut butter and jelly, but she always wants a ham sandwich. So I don't keep it a lot because I don't really eat lunch meat that much. So I thought I'm going to prep her some ham and cheese sandwiches. So I just took these little rolls. I'm just putting one little piece of ham on here. And then I'm going to put a half a piece of cheese on here. And then you just wrap these up, put them in a Ziploc bag, throw them in the freezer. And then like the night before she comes, I'll already know to take a couple of these sandwiches out. So she will have her ham sandwich when she wants it, when she comes to her Mimi's house. You know what I mean? But these are good for you too. And if you can just take them out, let them thaw in the refrigerator. And these buns are not like a soft bun, if you know what I mean. Like these are like the chewier buns, or the chewier bread, I guess I should say. So you don't have to worry about it getting weird when it comes out of the freezer. You know what I mean? It's not going to be hard. Okay, so this was the thing I was probably most excited and most nervous about because I've never made my own frozen pizzas. Now, I've made pizza dough and frozen the dough and like thawed the dough back out and then made the pizza like that. But I've never like put the entire pizza together, like I'm doing today. So I was like, is this even going to turn out? So what this is my sourdough pizza dough. You can use a regular pizza dough if that's what you want to use, like a regular pizza dough recipe, and I do have one of those too. I will link my sourdough and my regular pizza dough videos for y'all. But I just doubled the batch, and that way I'm going to end up with 8 like personal size pizzas. And honestly, y'all, these, for me anyway, like sourdough is pretty filling. And so when I split these and I thought, are they even going to be big enough? Because look, I like some pizza now. But they almost ended up being still too big. I almost could not, I couldn't finish one. And I was like, maybe I should make them even smaller next time. I don't know, but it's a good problem to have. So what I'm doing is I divided it in two just to make it easier. And then I divided that one half into 4 pieces. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring this up like a dinner roll. Just kind of tuck all the sides in. You see what I'm doing until you form sort of a little ball. And then it was a little sticky, so I kind of rubbed it in the flour right there. And then you're just going to kind of push it and pull it a little bit to kind of tighten your little dough ball up. And we're going to do this for each and every one of these little balls of dough. And y'all, look, I'm telling you, it was a lot of work doing all this, but it was so rewarding. My freezer is full. Do you hear me? Just slam full. But if you are making stuff for other people, like if I'm going to make it for other people, y'all, it's usually making it for my kids or something. But I usually will take whatever container I put it in, and I'll write the instructions on how to reheat on the outside of it to just make life easier. And I'm going to put all the reheating instructions down in the description box for y'all too. So for this recipe, once I got my dough balls made, I needed to let them rest for about 20 minutes. And so why I picked up the one piece of dough that was the last one I rolled out, or the last one I rolled into a ball. So I had to fight it to try to get it to roll out because it wasn't relaxed enough yet. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So what you're going to have to do if you're making frozen pizzas is you need to par bake your pizza dough a little bit. So what I do is I roll them out, and you're going to see these are not perfect. That one's pretty round. Okay, it's decent. We can get away with it. The next one, rectangle. It's a rectangle, but that's okay. 425 degrees for 5 minutes. Okay, and then I let them cool completely. They look a little weird because of the sourdough. They kind of bubbled up in spots when I was cooking them, but they shrink right back down, and it doesn't affect the dough. Okay, so just so you know. So par bake them 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 minutes. Take them out, let them cool, and then you're just going to top these like whatever you want on your pizza. Now I'm just showing you the up close of what these pizza crusts look like. So see where that's kind of wrinkly, that's where it had a bubble. It's perfectly fine, doesn't matter. But that is the size of them, okay? And you can have them whatever thickness you want. So like I said, I'm trying to keep this simple. So I just took some of that spaghetti sauce, because that's what I had open, and I use whatever I have open. Spaghetti sauce, pizza sauce, whatever. And then I just put a good helping of cheese, because it's pizza and you got to have a lot of cheese on your pizza. So put your pizza toppings on. Like I said, anything you want to add. If you want to add vegetables, if you want to add sausage, hamburger, whatever, okay? I'm just doing pepperoni and cheese. That's just what most of the people that I feed like, so that's what I went with. So once you get your little pizza made, you're going to roll out a piece of your plastic wrap, and I highly recommend getting a thing of plastic wrap, splurging and getting one that has the self cutter, because that made my life so much easier, y'all. So you're just going to fold it up, seal those edges in, and then just be careful with it. It's going to hold together the dough part because it's not like smushy dough. It's, because we par baked it, right? But it's not super stiff. So you still got to be a little bit careful with it. And I'm just tucking that in, all the little plastic wrap, so I can make sure all my pizza's good and sealed up. And just be careful so you don't end up with all your toppings falling off. And these pizzas are the perfect size to go in a gallon Ziploc bag. And again, I reuse my Ziploc bags if that makes anybody feel better. Okay. I can't help the amount of saran wrap I'm using, but I do reuse my, what are those? I just said it 5 times. Plastic bags, freezer bags. Oh my gosh, time to go to sleep. But anyway, that's all you do. You put them just like that, and then you throw them over in the freezer. Y'all, so simple. I've eaten one too, and it's delicious. Okay, so these are shepherd's pies. I almost did not even show y'all this, and at the last minute I thought, well, maybe somebody would want to see it, so let me put it in there. I bought these little tiny pans. I'm going to try to make sure that all these little pans and things like that are linked in my Amazon store in case y'all decide you want to meal prep. I have some freezer cups I'm going to use in a minute, and then these little pans, and I got them all off Amazon. So I just cook my meat how I want to cook my meat, top it with mashed potatoes, put some cheese on it. We've never done vegetables in our shepherd's pie because my son doesn't like vegetables. He never did growing up. So we just learned to make it without them and serve them on the side. But since these don't go all the way to the top and we've got a lot of air space in there, I always put a little piece of plastic wrap right on top of the food. And that way we don't end up with a ton of air in there and risk, all this hard work just for it to get freezer burnt. You know what I mean? So once I just took that little piece of plastic in there, I take a little piece of foil, like a little half piece of foil, and I'm just going to put that right over the top, tuck it in good, and then I write on the top of my little pans what they are. And that way, if you go in there, or whatever I want, you go in there and grab, and it's right there. So the next thing that I did was little mini lasagnas. Y'all, these things are fantastic. And like I said, even if you're not cooking for one or two, doing something like this really helps with portion control. Okay, not that I'm on any kind of diet, but I could use a little help. I could use a little help, y'all. So this is just perfect, though. You can't overeat it, right? Because you're literally getting one little thing out, one serving. I poked a hole in that one. So, whatever reason you need it for, meal prep. That's all I'm saying. I'm telling you, this is just going to make life easier. So all I did was layer this just like I was doing a big lasagna. And again, if you're meal prepping for a lot of people, just make a big lasagna. You do the same thing and put it in the freezer in a big pan. Simple, okay? Just keep layering till you run out of stuff. And then end with topping it with some mozzarella cheese. I didn't have any Parmesan. I ran out because I used it in something else. And, but we're making do. We're making do. Like I said, I did a lot of cooking. And y'all know I work full time, so I did this in 2 days. When I would come home from work, I would just do this for a couple of hours. Y'all see that Band-Aid on my finger? Cut myself on that foil. Sure did. Not that piece, but another piece. So be careful. Just be careful. But yeah, I did all this meal prep in the evenings 2 days after work. So if I can do it, y'all can do it. And look, it's going to make your life easier because now I can come home and I don't have to cook anything. All right, so the next thing that I prepped is chili. Now, this is not my chili recipe that has like all the beans and all that in it. This is my like Frito pie chili. That's what this is. So but I think I made, when I did this recipe in a video, I think I did it on my chili and waffles. I think that's the one I did, but I'll link that one. And I'll link my regular chili video for y'all too, just so you'll have it if you want to make a regular thing of chili. So I ended up getting 8 of these containers of chili. These containers hold 2 cups. So again, that's a good serving size, because I know a lot of times serving sizes is 1 cup. Y'all, come on. Does anybody eat 1 cup of chili? Not at my house. Anyway, y'all. So the last thing that I made was a big pot of taco soup. I love taco soup. It does not matter what time of the year it is. I will eat taco soup, and I will also eat chili, clearly. But again, this just gives me some variety. I've got breakfast, I've got stuff for lunch, I've got stuff for dinners, and I ended up eating that little bit of hot taco soup for supper and for lunch the next day. So we ended up, y'all, with 8 pizzas, 8 cups of chili, 6 cups of taco soup, 8 lasagnas, 8 shepherd's pie, 10 ham and cheese sandwiches, 10 breakfast sandwiches, and 17 breakfast burritos. That is a lot of meal prep. A lot of meal prep. But I hope that this gave y'all some sort of inspiration. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.